Now, natural intelligence is the best way, the learning you do to learn things easily, quickly, especially to extract the vital information from anything. So you can read the whole Ashtanga Hridayam. What is that phrase? After reading the entire Ramayana, Ramanukku Sita eppadi. Have you heard of that? That can happen. I have seen so many people who have done that, still doing it. So what's dosha? I'll go to the bathroom and come back. They never come back. Okay. Oh yeah. 1 second. So natural intelligence is your ability to do things efficiently, learn the essence efficiently. So you can read Ashtanga Hridayam Sutrasthanam, the first chapter, and looks boring, right? Second chapter, more boring. Third, more boring. Because if you don't know what you're going to do with it, it's all going to be boring. All going to be seriously boring. When I finished my Ayurvedic training in 1990, before your parents were born, not quite, okay, I was completely lost, totally lost. I didn't know what to do with it. Because I was not a good student. No one knows my student life. Pretty average, somehow just passed and all those things. But yeah, I was not in the right mindset. So in 1991, that time, I started going to my teacher who was living nearby. And he said, why don't you meet my teacher? So I went to see him. He gave me the best idea on the planet. He said, to be a good practitioner, in fact, to be the best practitioner, you need to just master the first 14 chapters. 14 chapters of Ashtanga Hridayam Sutrasthanam. I said, why is the rest of the book? He said, throw it away. Just tear it apart, throw it away. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, everything is there. Go back and read through. It's all there. There is the foundation of life. What is it? Body, mind, life. The whole thing is there. Body, mind, life. Everything is there. How to look at body, healthy body, not so healthy body, and how to conclude. Everything is there. So I said, why do we have a 15th chapter? If you want to refer, not study, refer to the ingredients and recipes, you can have a look at it. It's already in there. Understanding herbs and food, it's all there. But if you want to refer to the recipes, 15th chapter. What about the remaining 15 chapters? If you want to, you know what to do, but if you don't, you know how to develop your own treatment. But if you don't, look at those chapters. What about Nidhanam? It's already there in the first four. So I couldn't believe that at all. I went back and started looking at it. Guess what? It's all there. So I wanted just to give you a glimpse of what I saw, not the whole thing, just a little glimpse, so that you will know it's the easiest way to the best practitioners. Everyone wants to see you, consult you, pay you money, lots of it. Are you still interested? Fantastic. So, what is that? Okay. Natural intelligence, what are they for? Okay, natural intelligence is the cake. You know, the icing on the cake. There's a phrase, that's icing on the cake. Natural intelligence is the cake. If you don't know what it is, no one can help you. No one can help you. So you need to know what you want to do. So prompt, for example, prompt. My first prompt guru is my mother. 53 years back, she gave me the first prompt. I couldn't believe it. It was a story which went viral from mouth to mouth to mouth. 53 years back. Do you want to hear that story? After lunch? Okay. There was a beggar on the street, blind. Now you know the story. No? Okay. A blind beggar was doing some penance of that kind of stuff, and finally the God came down and said, why are you praying? Why are you doing penance? He said, I got 4 things. I need 4 things. He needed 4 things. One, he wanted to be a rich man. He wanted to be not blind anymore. So he wanted to see through his eyes. He wanted to marry a beautiful woman and have lots of children. God said, no, just one. He created the first prompt. God said, one prompt, one boon. You can ask one thing. Man said, I want to see my son eating from a golden plate every day. Did you get it? One prompt. Now, when you do the prompts, this is the thing. If I have time, I'll show you how to play with prompts. I'm not a master of prompts. I don't have a degree, diploma, or certificate, but you can do amazing stuff. Let me see whether I can get through the first part. So the first part is, there are 6 or 7 or 8 points. We need to learn the core principles. So I'll come back to this constantly when I go into the first one, like this. Like this, we'll talk about the first point, core principles. You need to learn, master the core principles. Dosha, Dhatu, Agni. You need to be masters of this. If you don't know what it is, you grab your teacher by kindly and nicely with an ice cream, not by the throat. Sit them down, make them talk until they don't have anything more. You need to be persuasive. Persuasive. That's a word. There are 14 chapters I want to tell you. Okay, I told you all these things, right? They're all references. 15th chapter, 13th, 30th chapter, the remaining 5 sections, all references. But you need to refer every word in it. Now, the 14 chapters, is that all? Let's get into it. These are the 14 chapters, right? When you look at it, you'll see equations and formulas in the first. Power tools for healing. Dinacharya is the key element, not Panchakarma. Yes, I'm not saying Panchakarma is not the key one, but this is the number 1 key, the best key. Just by adjusting a few little things in Dinacharya, you can get miraculous results. You want to hear a case study? 37-year-old herbalist. She's practicing 8 hours a day. And her fees is something like $250, which is like, 15,000 rupees per session. So she only sees 8 people a day. So 1.2 lakhs per day. Anyway, forget about that. Came to see me, this is in Sydney, saying, I'm so tired, my energy is so low, I cannot even think, I can't sleep, I can't consult people, I have canceled all my clients for the next 3 months, I can't get up from my bed. So, what would you do? Medically, she's fine, just tired. So I asked her, she's a herbalist, right? I said, so you're on ashwagandha? She said, yeah. I said, are you on ginseng? She said, yeah. Korean ginseng? Yes. American ginseng? Yes. Chinese ginseng? Yes. Indian ginseng? She said, yes. Ashwagandha. And it's not working. She said, no. You tried everything? Yeah. She said, I want to know why I'm tired. I said, I know exactly why you're tired. Why is she tired? You're going back to Dinacharya. How many pillars are there? Three pillars. When you come to the 21st century, there are five pillars. First one, what is it? Rest. Nidra is rest. If you want to write it down, do it. If you don't want to, that's fine too. Nidra is rest. When you take it, understand the actual meaning and application, it's rest. Nidra. Aharam means nutrition. Third one, Maithunam means relationship. Maithunam means mithunasya bhavam. Mithuna means what? Two. When I'm here and my computer is here, there is a relationship. Me and the light, me and you, me and water. When there is another thing in front of you in your consciousness, there is a relationship. It's going to be either harmonious or disharmonious. If it is disharmonious, it's going to, relationship, not sex. Maithunam, sex. Oh yeah, 10-year-old child is having sex, right? A 95-year-old grandpa is having sex, right? Maybe he is having sex, I don't know. But Maithunam is not sex. Sex is part of Maithunam. Does it make sense? Sometimes you need to use Sanskrit to dig into it. Good idea? If you don't know Sanskrit, what do? Ask a Sanskrit teacher, what the hell is going on? What is this word? Where's it coming from? What's the nirukti? What's the vilpatti? Etymology. Nice name, right? Okay. So, I went into do you know the five pillars now? No. Three pillars. We got three. The other two? What's the first one? Rest, nutrition, relationship, exercise, vyayamam. And the last and the most, one of the five important ones, your work. The role at work is a pillar. If you're designed for your job, are you spending your right energy at work, in your family, in your community, with your friends, when you're at home alone? Really important. We'll go into that another time. So for the five pillars, the most important in this would be always the rest. So I'm like, I know what it is. She goes, how do you know? You don't know anything about me. I said, it looks like I know everything about you. And she's like, okay, tell me about your sleep. She said, 8 hours, fantastic. I said, define fantastic. I'm dead for 8 hours. So how do you feel when you wake up? Oh, I don't want to wake up. I'm anxious, tired, aching. That means she's not sleeping. She's sleeping, but not getting the result. Okay. I said, what time do you go to sleep? She said, I said, what time? She said, 3 o'clock. 3 a.m. She said, yeah. The reason was this. All the fantastic programs on television was between 10 and 3, according to her. I said, okay, I can help you. She said, how? Do you have Foxtel? This is an old story, 15 years, maybe 20 years back. She said, yeah, I use Foxtel. I said, is it IQ1? She said, yeah. I'll get IQ2. She said, why? Then you can record everything between 10 and 3, all the programs you want to watch. And go to bed at 10 o'clock and get up at 6, and then 6 until 11, 6 a.m. until 11 a.m., you watch it. She said, that's a good idea. Okay, call me in a week. 5 days later, she calls me, I can't believe it. I'm almost fully back. Now, can you do any Shodhana therapy or Brahmana therapy or Langana therapy or nutrition therapy, herbal therapy for this particular patient condition? Always master your dinacharya. Dinacharya is not just the rules that you need to stupidly follow, oil your head, extract the key ones. That's the 5 pillars. Always, always play with the 5 pillars. Cool. So, did I say that properly? Did you follow the story? Okay. Now, power tools for healing, predicting and responding dynamic changes. Ritucharya is all about changes, and you're tracking these changes, and you're preparing for the changes. So when someone says, I go to the gym 3 hours workout, and then I have an icy bath regularly, you know exactly what 2 seasons he's playing with, from summer to rainy, Grishma to Varsha. Unprepared, abruptly, as a result, which dosha aggravates in Grishma? Sorry, Varsha? You can predict it. And he will have a Vada aggravation of some kind in the near future. So everything is about whether you're eating ice cream in a hot summer, every day, once a day, one time here and there, it's okay. But unprepared excessively, when you do that, you can relate to a Ritucharya transition. That's why Ritucharya, there's no 6 seasons. How many seasons do you have? Yeah, it's a theoretical, imaginative idea so that you can be imaginative too. You know, Ayurveda doctors are the only imaginative doctors. Now, we want to be allopathic doctors without imagination. It's like going to the hospital, castrate me. I need to tell you one more little story. A friend of mine got a 3-year-old. I think that's in the story here. Anyway, I'm going to say that because it's the context. 3-year-old daughter. And we were on the phone. He's in Melbourne, I'm in Sydney. And let's call him Sibi. Sibi said, she's got a bit of pussy thing coming out of the ear. I said, hang on a minute, she's got a cradle cap still going on. You know, cradle cap. Babies have got little thing in there and it should fall off. It didn't fall off. 3 years still going on. The doctor's going, it's okay. Pediatrician going, it's okay. This one. So I'm thinking, this is not sounding right. I said, Sibi, take her straight to the hospital. He asked me why. I said, I don't know. It doesn't add up. It doesn't sit well with me. And take her to the hospital. Now, in a week, I have an appointment for her. I said, no. So the wife and husband had a little bargy, means screaming and yelling, and finally they went to the hospital. The doctor said, it's an otitis. That's okay. I'll get antibiotics. Don't you worry. The wife stares at the husband, you idiot. Didn't say it, but that's the meaning of that stare. You idiot. And the husband is like, I am an idiot. And the doctor, this is the thing, in Australia, in the West, they have this system, everything is put into the computer. So he sits there like he's the superstar and puts the information and enter. The screen goes red, bang, 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 bang. It was the early stage of a cancer-like disease which required immediate chemotherapy. I didn't know this, but it didn't sit with me. I knew something was wrong. The doctor didn't have any clue. And he said, I know this is the first patient I'm seeing in 25 years, but because no one comes to see me with this problem. So this is the thing, when you have a foolproof system, that's really important. We need to have a foolproof system. This is where AI comes in. Now, predicting and responding to dynamic changes, that was the topic I was talking about. With these kind of changes, you might be able to extract some information, and that might help you. I think, that thought came from this chapter. Next one is what's vital in our body. Roganulpadini. It's all about what's important in your body. Yes, you got arms and legs and head and heart. Which one is more important? You got urges of various kind. How do you want to treat it? Work with it. This is about befriending herbs and food items. Then comes what's a good food, what's a poisonous food, that kind of stuff. Then the next one is all gut, agni, armor, poison. This is an amazing chapter. This is the chapter you want to understand the gut function of a patient. It talks about 4 different types of armor. 4 different types of armor. Oh, 3 different types? 3 different types. What are the 3 different types of armor? It talks about ajirnam, right? Amam, vidagdham, vishtabdham. It's technically armor. What's armor? What's the difference between armor and ajirna? Not jirnam, is amam. So it gives you more information about amam. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all of them, but you get the idea. Now, how many slokas you should learn? Around 30 or 40. But you need to read it constantly. If the Sanskrit doesn't help you, you need to read the English meaning constantly. Try to make sense out of it. Read a chapter, make a note. These are the 6 points I got from this. Another read, another 3 or 4 points. Keep on writing. It works. There are 876 slokas altogether. Only 50 or 60 you need to learn, maybe 50. What's that, rain? Can you hear me? Now, armor needs to be studied really, really well. We are talking about natural NI tools, not AI tools. This armor, it means anything that may hurt, may not support your body, anything that may slow down your body or seize the body completely. It doesn't work for your body or with your body. Usually bone koshta travels through fluids, lodges in your shaka. This is how it works. There are 3 types of amas: kledam, vidaham, vishtabdham. Kava, pitta, ama. Have you heard of that? They're sleeping. Did the payasam kick in? There are 20 types and their combinations, like qualities. Rucha amam, snigdha amam. If it is excessively snigdha, so you need to figure out where you find the amam in the chapter arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis in Davidson's, and so on. You can find it. This is a funny thing. Western medicine doesn't address armor, so a disease become chronic. We can address armor, we won't, so it stays chronic. You can easily address the correct armor, and the result is this: remission. They go into a remission. 6 stages. Have you heard of this? Shatkriya Kala? Chaya, Kopa, Sara, Prasara, Sara. Sthana, Samshaya, Vritti, Bheda. And these happen in 3 different stages. Chaya and Kopa happen where? In the Koshta. Where's the Sara? It's through the fluid. And Sthana, Samshaya, Vritti and Bhedam. That's in Shaka. Now, they found a new organ in your body recently, like in the last 10 years, they found a new organ in your body. Do you know that? Do you remember that? They discovered a new organ. Microbiome. Remember that? This is the largest organ. Previously it was skin, 2.5 kilos. How heavy is the microbiome? 3.5 kilos. That's just the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg. There are more to discover. In my view, the largest organ is not that. A 60-kilo person is made of 40 kilos of water. This is the largest organ. If you start working on the water, the healing, the treatment becomes easier, result will be faster, and they will last longer. If you're not looking at the water in your body, because water is the transportation pathways, right? And the nutrients are going from the koshta to shaka through this water. And there is a little stickiness, extra stickiness, convoluted blockages. You're eating well, but your skin is still dry. Eyes are still weak. heart is still not working properly. So transportation. So in the next 50 years, we're all going to be here. I'll be definitely here. We'll see. Oh, we found a new organ. It's called water. So a 100 kilo person will have around 60 kilos of water. A 60 kilo person will have about 40 kilos of water. Do you agree? So study the water. Your treatment will be much better than anyone else. So these are all in the 3 different areas. Have you heard of Doshagati? This one, once mastered, the previous slide will make more sense. There are 4 types of Doshagatis. What's Doshagati? Dosha moves from Koshtam to Shaka to Sandhyasti Majja. What's Sandhyasti Majja? I don't know. So I decided to call it fluids. Koshtam, fluid, Shaka. Shaka, fluid, Koshtam. And there are 4 different types. One is food goes from the Koshtam to Shaka, nutritional flow. Waste materials from Shaka to Koshtam. In disease, Ama from Koshtam to Shaka. I want you to do some serious reading and researching on these topics. In healing flow, what do? Amapachanam, Anulomanam, Shodhanam, from Koshtam to Shaka to Koshtam. Does it make any sense? No. You learn this, but write it down. It will be very useful. In diagnosis, there's only one word you need to remember, dushyam. What's dushyam? Dushyam desham balam kalavanalam prakritim vaya. What's dushyam? Every physical element in your body, if say you're 50 kilos, if I squeeze you, I get 33 kilos of water. 16 kilos is dushyam. Is that simple? Oh, dhatu, srotas, agni, yeah, it's all in there. Except water, everything else is dushyam. Now, when Vagbhara says, or Charaka says dushyam, what does it mean? The quality of your tissues, quality of your cells, organs, organelles, systems, body, quality relates to guna. Quality is guna, relates to dosha. So altered guna, altered dosha, altered dhatu, agni, srotas, dushyam, one word. So you can easily study the tissue qualities and get a clear idea about what the problem actually is, rather than going into all sort of confusing system analysis. Now you will have to learn that before you get your certificate, your degree certificate. But what you need to focus on is this kind of stuff. Easy and sharp analysis. I've heard about this Ayurveda doctor in somewhere Kashi. As soon as you sit down in front of him, you get a prescription. He can see the disease in you clearly. And you can ask him what's wrong, and he'll tell you exactly what's wrong. How is that? Is that Ayurvedic? The last one. Nadi, Motra, Malam, Jihva, Shabdam, Sparsham, Drit, Akriti. Akriti has got 2 techniques. One is symptomatology, signs and symptom, Akriti, shape of the disease. Second one is movement. Akriti means body's alignment. So when you walk, alignment is more obvious. When you sit down, yeah, but not quite fully. So in Ashtasthana Parisha, you have technically 12 diagnostic techniques. Do you want to know all of them? Next time. Okay, some of them are here. Signs and symptoms. If you can master signs and symptoms, wow. One of my teachers was a symptomatologist. You can't lie to him, he'll catch you. When the patient said, don't give me laxative, I got diarrhea. After the consultation, And my teacher said, shut up, consultation is over. It's my time, I'm going to prescribe. But you'll give me laxative, I get diarrhea. He said, how often do you go to the toilet? She said, twice a week. That's constipation for us. She said, when I go there, and she said, my teacher said, I don't care. Pearls or gems or whatever comes out, I don't care. It's constipation. Now I get it diet. Yeah. If you don't have 2 bowel movements a day, I'm going to give you a laxative. A month later, she comes back saying, yeah, now I know what's normal. Twice a day. That's a mastery in symptomatology. Tongue assessment is another one, easy to learn. In 2 days, you can learn it. Pulse reading, I don't know how to teach it. I can teach the symptomatology and tongue analysis. Differential diagnosis is really vital. So I gave you the answer already. How many diagnostic methods are there in Ayurveda? Ashtasthana Pariksha, right? 12 techniques. I gave you the 2 of Akriti. Remember that? Now, prescription protocol. This is really important. You know, I was, okay, I'll give you one quick story. 3-month intensive Ayurveda course for Westerners. A dermatitis patient. I prescribed a typical one, Tiktanga Kashayam, Kaishara Gugulu, Manivatrigulam, Kadirarishtam, Elai Thailam. Is it a typical one? More or less. Okay. So the student, Merite, asked me, what do they do? They're all anti-dermatitic. In that case, why all 5? I said, I don't know. This is what we do. That's such a stupid answer, right? I don't know. This is what we do. Then why not just one larger dose? I said, that would be too much, but I don't know the answer. It took 7 years to get the answer. What is going on? Okay, this is the answer. The body attacks ama. So where is the ama in a disease? In the shakha. Body. So shakha attacks ama, dislodges from the tissue, in the tissue. Ama is pushed into the gut through the various fluids. Blood is a fluid. Gut expels ama as vomiting, diarrhea, smelly sweat, altered colored urine, etc. We feel better, right? At the end of the fever, our urine gets stronger, right? Color, smell, and that's a good sign. Body has removed ama fully. When we get diarrhea, bad diarrhea, smells bad. Good bowel movement, smells normal. Now, in assisted healing, this is what we do. See, this is natural healing, the first one. Body does it. Assisted healing is what we do. The purpose is to make above process faster, easier, and more complete. Complete detoxification is pure healing. Shuddha Chikitsa. Question arises. What question? What does ama? Why does ama settle down in that tissue? We won't pay attention to that right now. Now, in this situation, anti-symptom, anti-disease methods are not. See, complete detoxification is pure healing. Anti-symptom treatment, painkiller. It's okay, but you need to address the problem later. Anti-disease, like anti-arthritic pills, symptoms masked, but the ama is still there. What's ama in rheumatology? Can you hear me? Very hard. RF factor goes up, ama. And there are many other elements as well. Can you hear me? Okay. So if this is the case, can we look at the prescription? A tissue remedy, so shakha remedy to dislodge ama. A resinous pill to remove the dissolved toxin through the fluid. This is really interesting. What's a resinous pill? Gugulu, anything with a gugulu is a resinous pill. This is why, I don't know whether you have noticed, almost every prescription will have a kashayam, a tissue remedy, and a resinous pill that goes with it. So the tissue, kashayam breaks the armor down. The resinous pill, why resinous pill? Because the body fluid is resinous. You need to take the broken down armor through this sticky fluid with the help of a sticky thing. When you go to Orissa, you have a local guide to help you. When I come to Tamil Nadu, say I don't know Tamil, I'll get a local Tamil speaking smart guide. Resinous pill. A flush to expel the armor from the gut. Transporting extra nutrients to the site of disease. Because when a war is going on, the soldiers need a lot of weapons, food, medicines. We are supplying extra nutrients and providing local protection. This is what we are doing in the name of assisted healing. So going back to that prescription, okay, tissue remedy, fluid remedy, gut remedy, local nourishment and local protection. This is the deal, but not necessary in every prescription. Can you see the tissue fluid gut connection in here? See this? Tissue fluid gut. And can you see the obvious Deepana Pachana Anulomana approach? The red is Deepana Pachana, the remaining is Anulomana. In every treatment, this is the secret, don't tell your teachers. In every treatment, every disease, you're doing the same thing. Pachana and Anulomana. Sometimes Deepana Pachana. Pachana and Anulomana, that's it. You are doing Ama Pachana, bringing it to the Koshta and out. Anulomana. What about Dosha Gati? This is the Ama Gati. Anyhow, let me give you a prescription. Did you see this prescription before? Tiktagam Kashayam, Kaishwar Gugulu, Mani Bhadragulam, Khadirarishna Meladi Tailam. You saw it. God, what's going on with your brains? I show you this, right? You saw this. So, Tiktagam Kashayam, they're all internal except the last one. Now, how do you individualize it? This is a ready-made thinking. All of us need ready-made prescriptions in your head. For every disease, say 50 main diseases, you need to have 50 prescriptions in your head. Arthritis, disc prolapse, dermatitis, eczema, psoriasis, shvitram, vitiligo, everything, cough, cold, typical prescription. Then you can personalize it. How do you personalize it? Can you see it? So you need to have sliders. Tiktagam is a little bit too much for this patient here. Too bitter. So what if I do Vajragam? Or we need a bit more cleansing effect. Why don't we do Mahatiktagam? We need some more anti-poison effect. Arugudari. So when you learn a recipe, you need to learn the ingredients, indication, and ask at least a dozen doctors, how do they see this product? How do they see this recipe? Each of us see them differently. It's nice to have everyone's opinion before you make your own. Now, when you have all these things, organ prescription and disease prescription, see, these are all organ prescription. This is disease prescription. Just to show you, you can make your own. Oops. This is the tissue protocol. And this is disease protocol. Once you have this, With the sliders, you can easily handle any disease. Then there is another type of disease. You don't know what the hell is going on. The patient is having all sorts of symptoms. But you know, where does the armor start? Where does the armor start in your body? Costa. What if we have a Costa protocol? There's another source. Stress. Do you know a stress protocol? Once you have a stress protocol with sliders and a gut protocol with sliders, you got the emergency protocols there. What's a stress protocol? You can look at stress as this. There are many ways. One is this. Brain doesn't have the energy to process it. Say you're a teacher here and you got a class to run, and you're late and you're running, and suddenly your family comes along saying, somebody broke the toe, and then your father calls you, mother calls you saying, I got an emergency here. It's called stress. You don't have the energy to process all these things. But occasionally you see someone who knows how to handle this beautifully, not stressed. But the stress doesn't stop there. They get a different level of stress later on. That's what happens, because that's when they feel like they are alive. Okay, so this prescription protocol, you saw this? What is it? So this is like a one-day workshop where you can create your own stuff and refine it, perfect it, remember it. Once you get that, okay, let me go through the stress protocol. So how do you prescribe, how do you come up with a stress protocol? A typical one I use is this. Saraswatam. What is it now? Sorry, Kalyanakam Kashayam. Manasamitra Vadakam. Saraswadarishtam. Kalyana Gulam. You don't need the fifth one. There's no local protection. 4 of them. Yeah. What is that? Brahmitailam. Yeah, if that works. Brahmitailam is a good one. I'll tell you one quick story. This patient comes to see me. She's like 45 and she has got eczema. What is it? Psoriatic eczema. She's rotting. As she walks in, the whole room is stinking like hell. Sat down. 90% hair is gone. Pussy. Mother sat down. 8 years. Psoriatic eczema. Tried everything. Now it's horrible. They stopped the cortisone because the bone started falling apart. Life full of stress. So I thought I'll start with a stress protocol. She said, no, skin protocol. I said, you tried skin protocol, 8 years. Where are you now? She said, yeah, stress protocol. Exactly these 4. 6 weeks, comes back, 40% improvement. She said, never felt this good in my whole life. Right. What's the stress protocol? Six more weeks later, she looks 80% better. Hair loss completely stopped. Now sleeping, pooping. Skin is completely normal. Then I changed to Kalyanam Kashayam and Mahakalyanakam Gridam. Asked her to see the psychologist. She said, no psychologist, I'm not crazy. Everyone needs psychologist. Everyone needs counseling. So the point I'm trying to make is this. After the 3 months, I started doing the skin treatment because there will be leftover armor in the skin, channels, gut, everywhere. So 3 more months later, so total 6 months later, she's like, absolutely normal, new hair is growing, etc., etc. Now, if it is stress-related disease, address the stress. But if it's just typical arthritis, still there is stress, you can do arthritis protocol, which is Rasnarandada Kashayam. What is it? Chandraprabha Gogulu, flush, Gandhavastadiyarandam, Arishtam, Amrita Arishtam, local support, Pindadailam. You need to remember this. It's like it should be by heart. Now, what about the modern patent and medicine? I don't know. I don't use them. I ask these guys when they come to see me, what do they do? How do they do it? They don't know. So that's the door. Oh, but it's effective. Which condition, which stage? They don't know. They walk. I just want results. Now, initially, we are all looking at this. For a pill, for every ill, as I say. For every disease, we are looking for the medicine. That's what I was talking about. Then something changes in you. You start looking at the patient. It's a great change. And then the third stage is Rogina Chandaratmanam. You start seeing the soul in that person, why they are stressed. We don't judge. We stop judging for the patient who came back with the same disease third time in that month, even though you told them not to do certain things and to do certain things, they disobeyed. You don't get angry. There is a reason for that. There will be a reason for it. They couldn't do it. Why are you judging them? There are situations in our life we can't really do all the normal healthy things, right? Same. So the moment there is that connection, that understanding, we are talking about the best healer on the planet. Now the next one is, so this is a trick and technique. Take a couple of photos because I'm not giving you the presentation. I want you to remember it, or that's the idea. So artificial intelligence comes to rescue us in so many different ways to gather and supply all relevant information. So there are so many apps where you can connect with the patient. Patient gives you all the information. There's an update, mutual. There are so many things to detect emergencies, to prevent mistakes. So I told you that case, 3-year-old with a cancer-like disease. This was the condition. Langerhans cell histiocytosis. What is that cytosis? Usual treatment is with corticosteroid, chemotherapy, radiation, targeted therapy, surgery, stem cell transplant, but they went straight to the chemotherapy. Now, I wouldn't have had diagnosed that patient in any way. Would have done that in my own way, but this is straight to the point, and the doctor was so relieved. He said, we can cure it completely with the chemotherapy. 3 years later, the kid is fine, completely fine. So this is where AI can really help us. There's no way AI is going to do the prescription for you. Yeah, there are apps like that, and as the expert said, the apps can hallucinate. What is his name? Dr. Prasanna created an app, not an app, GPT, where it won't give you the answer for how do, what is it, patient dies or something like that. It did. It did. Hallucination. This is the thing. We need help. Always we need help. Even if you're the best, you need help. There's no question about it. The moment you think you don't need help, then the mistakes start happening one after another. You always need help. That's why we are reading. That's why we are gathering like this. That's why we are listening to YouTube lectures on particular diseases. Thank you.